New research today has revealed support for One Nation has surged among young voters, women, the wealthy and city residents. One Nation's appeal now expanding across all demographics and after being traditionally popular among older voters and those living in rural and regional areas across the country. Joining us this afternoon on The Debrief is Madeline Larson from Triple M in Brisbane and Jonathan Edwards from 7 News in Adelaide. Good afternoon to both of you. This is really interesting when we break down this new research. It seems One Nation has more support now with female voters than male voters. Maddie, what are your thoughts on this new research?
I think it's really interesting, this change in the political landscape, given that One Nation is usually linked to older men. Seeing that, looking at this poll, female voters just last year, there was 6%. That's now jumped to 24%. And then on top of this, we also had the Redbridge poll last week, which put Pauline Hanson just 6 points behind Anthony Albanese as preferred PM. She's now saying that she could move to the lower house. She has the ability to become PM. There's speculation that she could then try for a Queensland seat. Do I know why this is happening? No. I mean, as journalists, we try not to be biased. I don't think a lot of people within my surrounding friendship group have mentioned an interest in this, but the polls certainly do speak.
Jonathan, in regards to why there is such an increased support, it seems the majority of people saying that they're going to vote for One Nation say they believe the two-party system right now, the Liberal or the Labor government, the coalition and the current federal government are broken. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, you're right there, Tash. I think really people are sick of the BS. They were lied to at the last budget by the Prime Minister and the Treasurer about negative gearing and a whole range of measures. And really they're sick of the two-party system where we're seeing people that are born into the party and it's a popularity contest into getting in rather than actually people that want to represent their community. And that's what we're seeing with One Nation. Here in South Australia, the newest candidates, they're not people that have been a part of the party for years or born into it. They're a tradie and a hairdresser. They live in their local community and they're actually dealing with the issues that everyday people are dealing with. That's why more people are turning towards One Nation, because they actually want someone who lives in their electorate. They actually want someone who's in the same trenches that they're in, trying to survive everyday life. And I think the surge is only going to continue. And the major parties, I think the Liberal Party have opened their eyes to it, but the Labor Party, I think, are going to get a rude shot if they don't open their eyes up to it soon.
It's going to be very interesting to see what happens the lead up to the next federal election. Moving on this afternoon, as the US government drip feeds once top secret information on UFOs, Hollywood director Steven Spielberg has revealed he believes we are not the only intelligent civilization in the universe. Maddie, do you believe we are not alone? Surely the truth is out there.
I think I've forgotten my tinfoil hat for today, but look, I would say there's a few things of late that have taken my interest, and that would be the missing scientists in the US that a few of them who have disappeared or who have died have been linked to UFO research in the United States. Then while you look at here in Australia, there's still calls to this day for the Australian government to release supposed documents in regards to that Westall UFO sighting in the 60s in Melbourne. Do I believe they exist? I'm not too sure, but you know what I think is scarier, Tash, is that aliens don't exist and that we're the only people here on a floating rock. I actually think that's far scarier.
Great point. Jono, do you believe?
Well, 56% of Americans, according to a YouGov poll, believe in aliens. So, you know, maybe there's a bit of truth to it, but I'm sure we've all met some members of the public or just people in our everyday life that seem like they're from another planet. So I'm sure that maybe there's a bit of truth to it, or, you know, you've got to believe in something, don't you?
Absolutely. And finally, this is an interesting topic. A Sydney restaurant has revealed what may be the most expensive sandwich. Check it out. Can I just say it looks delicious? But it is a $210 steak and beetroot sandwich. It features Japanese Wagyu beef, truffle butter, and apparently 100-year-old balsamic vinegar. It is for two. Maddie, would you buy this? And are you willing to pay top dollar for this sandwich?
I think I am willing to split it between us three. If we could cut it down from two, that would be quite affordable. I also think when it comes to spending this price on food, steak is probably the one thing that a lot of Aussies will spend money on. There seems to be this thing that the more expensive the steak, the better it is. So hopefully that's true with this one. But at the same time, I just think about the weekly groceries I could buy with that $210, Tash.
Jono, would you sign up for this?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm not sharing either. I I've got absolutely no control when it comes to good food. Yesterday I went to the butcher, I was tired, I was emotional, it's been a long week, and I got the most expensive steak, and I'm all right with it. You've got to die of something, and if it means eating good food, I'm all right with it, and I'm happy to pay the $210.
Did you put beetroot on the sandwich, do you think, Jono?
I think beetroot goes all right. In the lot, the egg, yeah, why not? Let's amp it up. Put some
100%.
caviar on there.
Maddie and Jono, have a lovely day. Thanks for joining us.
You too. Thanks, Tash.